that we are now not seeing the same movie of reality. If you have this talk of there's a coup going on, well, right now that against itself, that we are now not seeing the same movie of reality. If you have this talk of there's a coup going on, well, right now that language, there's a coup, the left sees it as President Trump is actually staging a coup by trying to reject the results of the election and incite his base. And the right sees it as the results of the election are invalid. I believe the current stat is that 70% of Republicans currently believe the election is not valid. And depending not on having seen the same information, but depending on the fact that we've seen different information. And I think the only way we can have common ground is by realizing how social media has destroyed our common ground, because that's a common place to stand. And I think that's what the film The Social Dilemma has really accomplished, is trying to get everyone to see that we're now 10 years into this mind warp that has so radically steered us into, as you said, more and more conspiracy theories and more extremism.
Let's talk about this distinction between YouTube and Twitter. YouTube saying we're not going to allow you to put up any more stuff about this election fraud, and Twitter just using that word disputed. Every time Donald Trump tweets now something that's utterly false about election fraud, they just call it disputed. And my own reaction to it is Trump supporters love that what he says is disputed. That's part of what they like about being on his team, is being on his side of the dispute. And everything Trump does is a dispute. So it seems to me that language on Twitter just doesn't do what Twitter might intend for it to do.
It's incredibly hard, because also as the companies start to take down certain kinds of content, that actually also increases polarization. Or when Twitter, there's actually foreign adversaries like China and Russia and many other countries that use this moment, use the fact that the tech companies will label this as saying this is disputed, or when they take these things down, they use that to drive up even more polarization. Because now people will get more upset that the tech companies are taking down certain things, and other people will get upset that they're not taking down other things. And what we really have to see is that there's no simple way that the technology companies can, quote unquote, fix this problem, because they've created a Frankenstein where there's 3 billion Truman shows in which there's not, a person like right now behind your camera who's checking to see if I say something, like a swear word or something like that, with the 5-second TV delay, and doing gatekeeping. In this model, we have 3 billion Truman shows, and there is no gatekeeping. So yes, Twitter may try to flag one thing here, but they'll get, for every one thing they flag maybe correctly, they may accidentally take down, let's say, 100 accounts that didn't deserve to be taken down. And that drives up more polarization from conservatives who believe that they're being censored. So this is the situation that we're in. It keeps getting worse because the core business model, they can grow faster whack-a-mole sticks and they can, whack more moles, but their business model is a mole farm. They're growing more problems than they can possibly deal with. And I think the only way to get out of it is to have a cultural awakening that recognizes that we've all been through this mind warp, and it has really driven us crazy on all sides. And I think the film The Social Dilemma is helping people see that, even across bipartisan perspectives.
So in the end, with all of your thinking about it, it comes down to us taking control of it ourselves, turning off the phone, and breaking our own connection to that kind of information flow.
Well, yes, except honestly, if everybody watching this program right now got off of Twitter and got off of YouTube, we still live in a country where most other people wouldn't have done that. And we will still see results of each of our elections determined by what people have seen and believed based on social media. So I think what we need is a cultural reckoning, in addition to obviously reforming the business model. But the damage has been done. Even if you subtracted social media, each of us are running malware, running confirmation bias, because one of the things about conspiracies, Lawrence, is the best predictor of whether you'll believe in a new conspiracy is whether you already believe in one. And when social media has dosed us with conspiracies for again, years and years and years now, it has really set the conditions for more madness. And that's why I think we have to have a cultural reckoning. I'm hoping the Biden administration and others can sort of say, just like we have economic recovery, we need to have kind of social recovery, because this is the issue beneath other issues. Whether you care about racial injustice or climate change or the election, whether it's legitimate, it depends on us having a shared movie of reality.
Tristan Harris. You can hear more from Tristan on the Netflix documentary, The Social Dilemma. Tristan, that's where I first heard you. I could listen to you all night. I'm going to watch the documentary again. It's really a brilliant.
Let me mention that disinformation has been going on from the founding of the country, the lies about people of color. You've had the lies after the Civil War to bring about segregation, Jim Crow, continued lies that have gone down before social media was a major factor in our society. The answer is love. The answer is defeating the Southern strategy. The answer is bringing people together. The answer is the oneness of humanity. The answer is taking care of everyone, doing as a Good Samaritan did, right? Having compassion on all people. Where there's one race, the human race. That's the answer. Love.
Brilliant analysis that opened my eyes about this in a way that nothing else has. We really appreciate you joining us tonight.
Thank you so much, Lawrence.
Tristan Harris gets tonight's last word. The 11th hour with Brian Williams starts now.